You see, by the dawn's early light, was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, to say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Out of the stick, though, of Dylan Evans, and they run into each other at midfield. Stainhouse now gets double teamed. The ball is dislodged, but Priolo is there to pick it up for Buffalo. Bounces off a check by Brad Self. Lord comes over to help out, but he was able to get over to Stainhouse. Stainhouse flips it over. Now fired up top to Dane Smith. He had a hat trick in game one. Over now to Banesh. He had 7 goals in the win against Toronto in the East Division semis. And a big collision between Priolo and I think that was Mike Kirk, and Rochester forces a shot clock violation. And we'll see what they can do offensively. The only change is Craig Point is out, Joel McCready is in. Jamison has it on the far boards. He'll give it left wing side to Dawson, who gives it to Jamison over to Walters. Walters back to Jamison in front of the net. He can't connect with Johnny Paulus. Bounces around off the far boards, and that one is taken away by David Brock. And Buffalo now scampering across midfield. Here they come in transition. Brock feeds it over on the left wing side, and they're going to settle it down as Jamie Rooney tried to get underneath but ran into Sullivan. He'll give it to Joe Rezzaterrets. Passes it right wing to Sean Williams. Played here for 10 seasons, number 51 in black, and gives it over to Tavares. Now over on the left wing, off the end boards, and that is another shot clock violation. A lot of chippiness behind the play already to start this game too, and Rochester will have the ball.
Yeah, both teams have come out here defensively real hard. We're going to be playing real nasty. Lots of in-your-face kind of defense going to go on from both sides of this, both sides of the floor here.
Keogh with it left wing side. He'll give it across to Vittorelli, now to Jamison. Jamison against Dane Smith, has a lane, gives it over now to Keogh, bounces off one check. Passes to Dawson, swings it over to Jamison on the right wing. Jamison trying to get underneath, spinning now to his left, looks, shoots, and that hits a man in front, and Karam's back into the stick of Jamison, and that is a shot clock violation. So both of these defenses showing what they can do, as the offense is struggling, still not a shot on goal, and we're nearly 3 minutes in, and that one is picked off. Back away comes Dylan Evans, and he'll give it over on to Brad Self, who will pass it now to the 6th-year pro out of Irondequoit High School and the University of Maryland, Joe Walters. Now over to McCready. Joel McCready has it on the left wing, takes it in on goal, the shot, and Cosmo pins it to the near pipe. And you see the energy that Joel McCready brings to the lineup tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Joel McCready is going to be one of those guys. He's going to get loose balls, he's going to set big picks, and he's going to score a couple goals here and there just to help out on the offensive end here.
John Tavares with the ball. 4 goals and 2 assists in the big win last week, and that shot is kicked away into the stick of Scott Self. He fires it on ahead for Scott Campbell into Buffalo territory, pushes off a check by Banesh, and he'll give it up top to Jamison. First scoring title for number 88 this season, 4th-year pro out of Six Nations in Syracuse. Jamison looking for an opening in front of Vittorelli, score! Corey Vittorelli, it's 1-0.
That was good patience there by Cody Jamison and Corey Vittorelli just to play the two-man game on the left side there. Corey came up and set a real nice pick on the Bandit defender, and Cody Jamison fed him a nice pass. So he went in clear on Anthony Cosmo and definitely made a nice shot there to go up 1-0.
So this time Rochester strikes first. Last game it was 2-0 Buffalo before Rochester got on the board. And a procedure call against Dylan Evans. And Thornbert will pass it to Stainhouse. He had 7 points in the Game 1 victory. Always seems to do well when he plays against the Knighthawks. Flip pass up top, the shot, and Vince has it pinned underneath his right arm. And now we've got some pushing and shoving between Ian Lord and Stainhouse, longtime teammates in Buffalo before Lord decided to sign with Rochester last season. Vitarelli over on the far boards for Joe Walters, who will give it right back to the lone goal scorer tonight. Now over to McCready, down the near boards to Dawson. 11-11 to go here in the first, 1-0 Rochester. Dawson, swim move, feeds it across, and that one is broken up by Priolo. Transition opportunity, 3-on-1 break the other way. Benesh shoots and scores. Ryan Benesh, he was blanked last game, and he gets Buffalo on the board here. It's 1-1.
This is one thing that the Rochester Knighthawks definitely have to do. Every time they score a goal, they can't allow Buffalo to answer back, because that seems to be the last 2 games. Every time either Toronto scores or Rochester scored, Buffalo has answered back. And that's something that, too, that, obviously the Buffalo Bandits enjoy. They enjoy and do it really well to run the floor and score goals in transition, and that was definitely a goal there on transition. So offensively, Rochester's got to be really aware of what's going on.
So Rochester doesn't even hold the lead for a minute as Benesh from Smith and Priolo. And we're tied at 1. Jamison against Wild, backing his way in. Has a lane, look, shoots, and the save made by Cosmo. And he's going to move it quickly up the turf. Grabbed ahead by Wild. He'll feed it on back to Benesh. 8 goals in the postseason. Now to Rezateritz. Gives it over. Now to Benesh. In on goal. Flip pass up top. And it's tracked down by Wild, who fires it on ahead to Tavares. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it across to Rezateritz. He mishandles it, now keeps it, and his shot is deflected wide. Joe Rezateritz played his college ball at Albany, and they lost in overtime today to Notre Dame 14-13 in the NCAA Division I playoffs. Joe Walters' team, the University of Maryland, is still alive. Dawson on the left wing. Gives it now. Walters in front of the net. Vitarelli had his stick grabbed out of his hands. And he's going to go back to retrieve it. Now Self on the run, the shot. Left pad save. Now Vitarelli bodies his man out of the way. Picks it up. He's going to flip it up top. And it's grabbed by Brad Self. So Rochester resets their offense after the good loose ball play by Vitarelli.
And that was a great play there by Corey Vitarelli. Obviously with a stick down on the ground, went back to retrieve his stick, got the loose ball, and got the ball back in the hands of the Rochester Knighthawks.
And the shot by McCready as he broke through the lane is denied. Outlet pass. And that is grabbed and right into the stick of Jamison, who's got a breakaway. Jamison in on goal, and he has it stripped away. And Buffalo now will take it back the other way. Mark Ardonio, the crew chief tonight. Chris Williams and Sean Grenway, the assistants. Grenier, the shot, he scored. Dane Smith, he had 3 goals last game. And he gives Buffalo the 2-1 lead.
That's just another goal there. Very similar goal to what he scored the last game against the Knighthawks. Just kind of had a little bit of a jab step back, shot around Scott Campbell, and I'm pretty sure that Matt Vince probably didn't even see that ball coming and just went underneath his glove. So that was a real nice shot there by Dane Smith, and that's somewhere defensively, obviously they got to get out on hands and not allow him to shoot the ball. Rochester
wins the face-off. Buffalo with a 2-1 lead as Chad Cull picks up the assist at the goal at 6:10. 2-1 Buffalo. They lead 1-0 in the series. Rochester needs a win to force the 10-minute mini game as Keogh gives it across to Walters, now to Paulus. They swing it around up top to Keogh. Keogh in the slot, bulling his way in. Gives it across now to Walters. Now to Keogh, fires the shot. He didn't even see it, the rebound. And he hits the deck and makes the save. Johnny Paulus with a behind-the-back shot, and Anthony Cosmo made the save. 2-1 is our score. Anthony Cosmo keeps the Bandits in the lead by 1 with back-to-back saves. We'll be back on the night.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon to the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Eight minutes to go here in the first as Williams passes it down the boards to Benesh as they'll give it over left wing side to Stainhouse. Stainhouse over to Tavares. Now gives it left wing side to Rezaterets, over to Tavares. Down low to Williams, feeds it in front of the net. And that one is broken up, and Matt Vince will pass it on ahead. Shots are 6-4 in favor of the Knighthawks. And Scott Campbell will pass it now to Dawson. And Dan Dawson waiting for McCready. And he'll feed it over to Vitarelli, who will give it right back. Now to Vitarelli, far boards, Jamieson. Fed in front to Dawson, he can't hang on to it. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. It'll be Buffalo ball. 7:15 to go here in the first. Buffalo 2 and Rochester 1. This Western New York rivalry, the sixth time they played. Rochester with 3 wins and 2 losses. As Culp, who's played a lot of offense last game, now takes it in on goal, has it stripped away. And a push call on Dylan Evans.
Yeah, that definitely was a push call there. That was legitimate call there by the referee. That almost could have maybe been a bit of a checking from behind, but obviously the referee is going to let them play here.
Stainhouse, left wing, up top Rezaterets, right wing Benesh. Benesh in the wants to take it in on goal. The shot, kick save, and he crashes in, and that's going to draw some attention as Matt Vince is trying to get Benesh off of him. And as the bodies get peeled away out of the crease, we'll see if any penalties are handed out with 6:39 to go here in the first, as Benesh went flying in there and then just knocked over Matt Vince. And the officials are conferring. It'll be Rochester possession.
Yeah, I think that was a legitimate call there. Obviously, he was pushed in a little bit from behind, and he didn't go in real hard into Matt Vince. I know it looked like he may have tried to bull him over, but I think think there was a bit of a check from behind there a little bit. Little push.
Jamison across midfield. Looking. Passes to Dawson. Left wing side. Keogh knocked down, and that's going to draw a penalty. Vince now will scamper to the Rochester bench. McCready now will join the fray, and being knocked down again was Stephen Keogh. He took 2 big shots. And Billy D. Smith is going to get 1, and if he doesn't behave himself, he's going to get 2.
And this is something here where the Rochester Knighthawks can definitely take advantage of. Obviously, the Bandits play with a lot of emotion. A lot of guys on that team that get real excited and play with a lot of emotion. And I think they can definitely use that to their advantage to maybe send Buffalo to the box here.
So Rochester will go on their first man advantage. Cross-checking the penalty as Keogh will give it to Dawson, up top to Jamison, back to Dawson. Jamison shoots the save and the rebound as diving through the crease. I think that was Vitarelli, and that's a crease violation. Cosmo pinned the pads together, but the ball squirted free. And now Buffalo will loft it across midfield to Williams. Fires it down into the near corner, where it's grabbed by Benesh. Passes across left wing side to Stainhouse. Mark Stainhouse being trailed there by Campbell and watched there by Sid Smith. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Stainhouse trying to get free. Stainhouse still with it. The bounce shot and a stick save. And now a penalty coming up to Scott Self.
Obviously, this is something here too. Both sides are playing with a lot of emotion, offensively and defensively, and that's something that definitely Rochester has to check that at the door and make sure that their emotions aren't too high, so they're taking penalties and allow Buffalo to go on the power play.
5:28 to go here in the first quarter. Still 1:13 left in the Buffalo penalty. Stainhouse with it on the left wing. Gets it free in front, the shot, and Vince makes the save. No, it trickles in. Dean Smith rips it past Matt Vince, and it's 3-1.
This is something here that obviously that Rochester can't allow Dane Smith to get hot. They can't allow Ryan Benesh to get hot. Those guys, I know Dane Smith got 3 goals last game, but they were 3 late goals. Ryan Benesh was kept off the board, but the night before or the weekend before he goes off for 7. So those 2 guys get hot and have the other guys scoring. That might be trouble for the Rochester Knighthawks tonight.
Dane Smith from Stainhouse at 9:46, and Buffalo with a 3-1 lead. Stainhouse against Ian Lord. Stainhouse shoots, knocked down, and that one's going to bounce across the midfield stripe. It's waved off as Ian Lord got a stick on it. Now Williams, Stainhouse shoots. That one's wide of the net. And that's going to be Rochester possession with 4:38 to go here in the first quarter of Game 2. Rochester needs a victory, but right now they face a 2-goal.
Plans are available and include a player meet and greet and other great benefits. Individual tickets start at just $10. Order by phone at 215-389-WING or online at wingslax.com.
This is Buffalo Bandits Lacrosse. Get your tickets now, starting at just $28, or your McDonald's Family 4-pack for just $89. Don't miss the hard-hitting, high-scoring action this season.
Score! Stainhouse loses a check, takes a shot, he scores!
Tickets are available at the First Niagara Center box office, online at bandits.com, or by phone at 1-888-467-2273. See you in Bandits.
Welcome back to the Blue Cross Arena. Rochester trailing 3-1. They're in the East Division Finals. And Dan Dawson, who had 5 points last game, and game 1 gives it over to Cody Jamieson, who also had 5. Now to Keogh on the left wing. Passes to Jamieson. 3-1 Buffalo. Now to Dawson in front of the net. Tried to spin through traffic. Still with it. The shot, he scores! Dan Dawson with a spectacular goal.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable individual effort there by Dan Dawson, and that's something he needs to do more. He needs to shoot the ball. Last couple times down the offensive set, he looked off a shot, and Dan Dawson needs to take this team on his shoulders and take them to where they need to go and do more stuff like that. He was swimming, he was ducking, he was diving, and he just basically swam the one guy and went into the net and shot the ball where it went in the net. So that was just a great individual effort there by Dan Dawson.
And Rochester within 1. It's 3-2. 10:41 the time of the goal by Dan Dawson. Benesh with possession. Buffalo with a power play for the next 37 seconds. As Williams now will give it to Benesh. Up top to John Tavares. Now to Stainhouse. Up to Reziteritz. He loses his footing momentarily. Now to Benesh. The low shot. And a left pad save by Vince. Here come the Knighthawks in transition. Paul Dawson charging into the Buffalo zone. Will feed it on back to Joe Walters, who will give it to Dawson. 3:36 to go here in the first, and Rochester trailing by 1. Dawson. Rochester back at even strength. Over to Walters. Scott Self will stay on and play some offense. Walters, the shot, save made by Cosmo. As the shot clock was about to expire. And the Bandits now will run it across midfield as it's flipped to Reziteritz. Now over on the left wing to former Nighthawk Jamie Rooney. Over to Tavares. 193 playoff points coming into the game. That's the best all time in the NLL for the 23-year pro. Culp. Passes it to Tavares, the shot, and a left arm save with the rebound corralled by Culp. Culp fires it up top. Taken there by Rooney. Rooney trying to get underneath. He runs into Campbell. Undercuts him. And Lord went after it, but Buffalo able to get possession. The shot, a kick save by Vince as Tavares let it go. Now Williams with the ball on the near boards. As Benesh and Stainhouse now will join the offense. As Tavares headed off for a change, as did Rooney. Fed over, Culp shoots, and a save by Vince as he's got it trapped in his right pad.
That was a great defensive set there by the Rochester Knighthawks. The Buffalo Bandits had a couple resets there on the 30-second clock, and the Bandits killed that, or the Knighthawks killed that off.
Walters takes the feed as he just made his way onto the field, gave it to Keogh, who gave it back, and now swung over to Jamieson. Jamieson left wing to Keogh. He's got a lot of real estate in front of him. Keogh bowling his way in, fires it off the stick of Walters, who corrals it. Looking in on front, the shot, he bounces it wide of the net, and that's a shot clock violation. It'll be Buffalo ball with 1:42 to go here in the first. Dane Smith. He's got 2 goals for Buffalo so far. As it's fed over, and that's an illegal pick as what is going to be the call? Williams got locked up with Paul Dawson. It looks like Williams is going to go, and it's going to be a Rochester power play.
That looked a little bit of a little excessive pick there. So that's what you call a hard pick on a defensive player. So that's something that obviously that the referees aren't going to allow.
Rochester 0 for 1 on the man advantage thus far. And Cody Jamieson and company trying to tie it up. Keogh to Jamieson, over to Paulus. Back to Jamieson, over to Paulus. Now to Keogh on the left wing. The shot knocked down, picked up, shot, scored! Johnny Paulus on the power play.
And this is something here that obviously the Rochester Knighthawks really have to score in their power play, and that's something that obviously it was just a nice little play there with a save on Anthony Cosmo made. Actually, it was a defender. The ball popped back to Johnny Pallas, who put it in the top corner, and that was a real nice shot there by Johnny Pallas.
Pallas was shut out last game, and it's nice to see Pup get on the board. We're tied at 3. 13:41 the time of the goal, and Rochester now looking to take the second lead of the game. They led 1-0, then they trailed 3-1, but they have clawed back to even. Dawson gives it over to Jamison, passes to Walters. Last minute to go here in the first. Walters over to Dawson on the left wing, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Dawson trying to get in on goal, 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Looking, shot, score! Take that one to the bank. He banks it in off the far post.
That was a real nice goal there by Dan Dawson. And again, Dan Dawson needs to shoot the ball, and that's what he does best. He's obviously a great passer. He's got great vision out on the floor, but I think tonight he's got to be that guy that's taking the shot.
And Dawson certainly has the hot stick, and Rochester regains the lead. It's 4-3. Off the faceoff, Dylan Evans is going to scoop it up. And the Knighthawks now will take it into Buffalo territory. Scott Self was stripped of the ball. And Priolo will feed it over to his left. 28 seconds to go. The Knighthawks with the lead, but Buffalo with the ball. Fed in front, the shot, they score. Jamie Rooney ties it up.
That was just a little bit of a two-man game there. Obviously, defensively, I think they lost where they were on the floor there. Miscommunication between the Rochester defense, and Rooney just basically drove down the middle, got a pass from Dane Smith, who put the ball in. And that's something, again, that the Buffalo Bandits are answering back every time the Knighthawks score.
Well, Rochester had the ball and got stripped. They could have set up for the final shot. Instead, we're tied up, and now Buffalo with an opportunity. As Dane Smith bounces it across the Stainhouse. Now to Rezaterets, 6 seconds left. Banesh over to Stainhouse, 3 seconds. The shot, that's knocked down in front. Fired toward the empty net. And the first quarter comes to an end. And we are tied up 4-4. The score is even, the shots are even. And when we come back, we'll have second quarter action, Game 2, East Division Finals. We'll be back on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Good pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Grubczynski. We're tied up at 4. And Evans had it and had it knocked away. And now Buffalo will have the first possession of the second as Culp feeds it over to Stainhouse. Stainhouse scampers free, still with it. Over to Tavares. Now to Stainhouse, left wing. In the slot looking, fires a shot. That's knocked down. Tapped away, and Stainhouse is going to pick it up. 3 seconds on the shot clock, still with it. 1, and that's a shot clock violation.
That was a great defensive start here for the Rochester Knighthawks in the second quarter. This is where they really got to show their identity, show what they're made of defensively, and not allow Buffalo to get up by 1.
Opening minutes, second quarter. Thank you for joining us. Game 2, East Division Finals. Jamison, right wing. Has it in the slot. Jamison looking to get rid of it. Feeds it over on the left wing. Now in front. That's swatted away as Billy D. Smith against Stephen Keogh. Holding on to Keogh. Keogh knocked down to the turf. And that's a shot clock violation. And is there a penalty coming up?
Yeah, it looks like we got a penalty to Priolo here on Dan Dawson, who definitely knocked him to the turf. I'm not sure exactly what the call is going to be. Maybe a high stick or check him from behind, but it's something that Rochester's power play definitely have to capitalize on here.
1 for 2 on the man advantage. We take a look at the replay here. Billy D. Smith against Keogh, and then Dawson was knocked down. So the man advantage now is Jamison to Dawson. Over to Paulus, over to Dawson, left wing. Now near side to Vitarelli. Passes right wing Paulus, left wing Dawson. To Paulus, down low to Jamison. Looking, still has it. Up top, Paulus. Jamison looking, shooting, scores! It's 4-3, or check that, 5-4. Rochester, they regain the lead.
Yeah, this is something that obviously Rochester really has to capitalize on their power play. They're 2 for 3 on the power play tonight, and every time the Bandits go to the penalty box, they have to score, and that's exactly what they're doing.
2 for 3 on the man advantage. Rochester with a 5-4 lead, and a procedure call against Rochester as Scott Self took that draw. That over now to Reza Territz. Looking, fires over the top of the net. Flipped up into the air and grabbed by Paul Dawson. Dawson across midfield. Passes it now to Walters. Walters waiting for the offense to rejoin him. Walters now right wing. Passes to Jamison. Bounces off a 1-check. Has it in the slot. Fires it to Dawson. Dan Dawson looking in front. Spin move. Takes it to the cage. Knocked down with a big hit. And Dawson still not up. As Steve Lobsinger, the athletic trainer out there, as he got spun around. 12:36 to go here in the second, and Sid Smith wants an explanation.
Yeah, it looks like Smith slid across there from the other side. Obviously, it was a bit of a body check across, slide across, and looks like hopefully Dan Dawson's going to be okay here.
So Dan Dawson will head off. .12:36, 5-4 Rochester. Dawson a huge part of that offense.
Yeah, and it looks like obviously it was Dan Dawson who went to the turf before that also when on the Bandits penalty there. So hopefully that's not something that is real serious here for the Knighthawks, because that's a huge loss for the Rochester Knighthawks if Dan Dawson doesn't come back.
Stainhouse on the left wing. Bounces off, shoots, kick saved by Vince. He got the left pad out. Big hit, and the ball squirts free across midfield. Jamison, the shot, where is it? It's underneath Cosmo. And Anthony Cosmo made the save. Jamison grabbed it and had a breakaway. And now Buffalo quickly setting up their offense. Pass over to Reza Terrett's left wing. Knighthawks in the lead by 1. Taking it in on goal, a beautiful strip, and here come the Knighthawks in transition. Brad Self, he's got Jamison open, in front, score! Cody Jamison.
And those are big goals for the Rochester Knighthawks. 2 transition goals. They need to answer here transitionally. They're scoring goals on their power play, and they just got two on the on transition. So those are big, big goals for the Rochester Knighthawks.
Cody Jamison with back-to-back goals, and Rochester in the lead by 2. 4 points so far for Cody Jamison. And that shot is knocked away by Vince. Stainhouse bounces off a check, trying to take it in on goal, runs in to 3 defenders. Flips it over now to Dane Smith. Across to Tavares. Looking, still with it, wants to pull the trigger, feeds it behind the net, and off of the back of the net. And now we've got Mike Kirk tied up behind the net. With big Dane Smith, there's 2 big men.
Yeah, absolutely. That's two guys just battling for turf position there, and obviously it's something that we're going to see here for the rest of the game.
Walters over to Keogh, now to Vitarelli. To Walters in the near corner. In front of the net, off the back of Billy D. Smith. No, they're going to say it went off McCready. And Buffalo will have the ball. McCready was covered by Billy D. Smith, and the ball ricocheted out of play, so Buffalo takes over. We will try to get you an update on Dan Dawson, who left early in this quarter with an injury. Reza Terrett's left wing. Over now on the right wing side. Penalty coming up to the Knighthawks as Stainhouse has it. And I think there's going to be 2 penalties coming up. It looks like Lord and Sid Smith. Is Jamie Rooney going as well?
And Rooney.
They were battling hard in front of the net.
2 for 1. 2 for 1.
So it looked like it was going to be a 2-man advantage, but it's only a 1-man advantage as Rooney will join Ian Lord in the penalty box.
Looks like we'll have a 5-on-4 here for the Buffalo Bandits. Is this something here that Rochester definitely has to kill this penalty off to so do not allow Buffalo to get within 1.
10:06 to go here in the second quarter. Buffalo 0 for 1 on the man advantage. And the bad thing is, if Rochester loses a player, they go to the mini game short that 1 player because the rosters carry over. You cannot make a roster move going into the mini game. Left wing side to Stainhouse as they will work it around. Stainhouse across, right wing side, shot misses the net. And that is picked up by Mike Kirk, who will fire it on ahead and into the stick of Paul Dawson. Gives it over now to Jamison. Jamison with 4 points thus far. Rochester shorthanded for the next minute and 20. Jamison looking for the pass in front of the net. That was a set play as Keogh banked it off the end glass. As Priolo now will walk it across midfield and leave it for Benesh. 9:06 to go, second quarter, 6-4 Knighthawks. Dane Smith has it, he'll fire it behind the net. And now it's over to Tavares. Passed over right wing side, now down low to Smith. Feeds it across, and Dawson knocks down his man in front. That was Williams. And that is a shot clock violation. Rochester will take over. And a timeout on the turf with 8:48 to go here in the second quarter.
The Philadelphia Wings rocked the Wells Fargo Center in 2014 with hard-hitting professional lacrosse action that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Can't come to every game? 5-game, 2-game plans are available and include a player meet and greet and other great benefits. Individual tickets start at just $10. Order by phone at 215-389-WING or online at wingslax.com.
This is Buffalo Bandits Lacrosse. Get your tickets now, starting at just $28 or your McDonald's Family 4-pack for just $89. Don't miss the hard-hitting, high-scoring action this season.
Score! Stenhouse loses check, takes a shot, he scores!
Tickets are available at the First Niagara Center box office, online at bandits.com, or by phone at 1-888-467-2273. See you in Banditland.
All over the turf, playing O, playing D. Now draws the double team as Rochester shorthanded. And he rolls it on ahead. Scooped up now by Billy D. Smith, fed in front, the shot, and no, that's a crease violation. As Dane Smith posted up in front of the net. And Rochester now will take it across midfield. 20 seconds to go in the penalty, and it's being challenged by head coach Troy Cordingley with 8:20 to go here in the second. So Mark Ardonio, the crew chief, will take a look. And as we will take a look at the instant replay, it looked like the correct call on the turf.
Yeah, I think the ref was in a real good position to make that call there, and obviously it looked like I was looking down at the Bandit bench, and they were telling coach to throw the flag. And I mean, obviously you get one per half, so you might as well use it up.
8:20 to go. The winner will move on to play the Calgary Roughnecks, who knocked off the #1 seed Edmonton Rush in the mini game 2-1. Sean Evans with both goals. Oh, yeah, Dane Smith. Man, he had his whole foot in the crease. That's an easy one. 8:20 to go, 6-4 Rochester. They'll have the ball and 15 seconds remaining on the Bandit power play. It was 4-4, but back-to-back goals by Jamison have given the home Knighthawks a 2-goal lead. And we'll see if they can build on that. Jamison trying to shake off a couple of checks by Wild. 3 seconds left on the penalty. And Rochester now even. Jamison's shot, where is it? And it's gloved by Anthony Cosmo. He looked to his left and kept it out of the goal with his left glove. So Rochester back at even strength. The Bandits with the ball as Tavares has it on his off wing. Gives it to Reza Terrence, up top to Williams. Now to Stenhouse, he lost it. He is knocked down, a big hit by Brad Self, and Rochester takes over. Campbell to Kirk across midfield. And the bounce pass taken by Paulus. Right wing Jamison. Backing his way in, trying to spin away from his defender. Jamison over. McCready bounces off a check by Billy D. Smith. Still has it. Shot clock at 6. Jamison in front. Wide open. Scores! Johnny Paulus at 7-4. And a penalty coming up.
Looks like there's a penalty coming up here to Billy D. Smith after the play there. Obviously, Johnny Palace was knocked down in the middle. It was a real, and his defender just left him there wide open. The ball got to Johnny Palace from Cody Jamieson, and Johnny Palace put the ball in the net. Real simple, real nice pass and play there by Cody Jamieson and Johnny Palace, who put the ball in the net.
Johnny Palace with 2 goals tonight, and Rochester back on the man advantage after Billy D. Smith is called for slashing. Rochester 2 for 3 on the man advantage. They lead by 3 here midway through the second. Stainhouse has it, left wing, trying to get in on goal. He has it stripped away. Taken away by Scott Self across midfield. And Rochester will set up the power play unit. 6:40 to go in the second. Rochester with 3 in a row. Jamieson to Paulus. Back to Jamieson, left wing to Keogh. In front to Paulus, lost it, tapped it to himself. He scored!
Wow, that was an unbelievable goal there by Johnny Palace. It was a nice little dump pass there by Cody Jamieson. Johnny Palace actually bobbled it 2 or 3 times like a wide receiver, knocked it from like almost hand to hand, up in the air, got it corralled into his stick, and put the ball in the net. That was unbelievable.
8-4 Rochester, procedure call against Dylan Evans. A power play goal at 8:33. It's a 4-0 run for the Knighthawks. Buffalo now with the ball. The shot that is knocked down in front. Grabbed by Vino. He'll fire it on ahead. Dylan Evans on the left wing. And Rochester hustling off the floor as Joe Walters will take the pass. Hollis from Jamieson. Charging in on goal. McCready scores!
The energy that Joel McCready brings to the offense here for the Rochester Knighthawks. Just basically drove the net untouched and put the ball in behind Anthony Cosmo.
What a play by Joel McCready, the St. Catharines native, the nephew of Pat McCready, the Hall of Fame defenseman, who played for both of these teams, who is probably watching very intently at his home in St. Catharines. McCready from Walters at 9:05.
Yeah, Buffalo!
And Rochester with a 9-4 lead. And one of the Bandits defensemen, David Brock, is down behind the play. He will get up.
Might have been a bit of a break, bit of a breather there for the Buffalo Bandits, maybe to take some little time off there, calm things down, let them regroup and refocus here.
So the Rochester Knighthawks have scored 5 times here in the second. 5:55 to go in the second quarter, and the face-off is won by Dylan Evans, named the Wolfpack Award winner for his courage, heart, and determination. Only the second Nighthawk ever to win 200-plus face-offs in a season. Up top now to Keogh. Swings it over on the left wing in front. Keogh is open, and that one was mishandled and taken away. Watt into the Rochester zone. 5:24 to go. Second quarter, Benesh takes the flip pass. Passes it over to Rooney. He's got 1 goal tonight. Rooney being pressured, and he fires that one out of play. And Rochester will take over as Joel McCready across midfield. Won a championship last year. He was not on the 2012 team. He had to take a year off for a firefighting career, and the Knighthawks are glad he came back. Bounced up top to Paulus, over to Walters, right wing, the shot, and that high shot is knocked down. Pressured in front, Keogh steals it. Gives it on back to Jamison. Penalty coming up. And who is heading off? Is that Rory Smith?
Oh, looks like Stephen
Or
Keogh.
Keogh.
Stephen Keogh there obviously knocked Rory Smith to the ground, and he's a little bit shaken up here, and that's something that definitely...
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Carries plenty tonight. NLL Commissioner George Daniel, head of officiating Brian Lemon. They were actually in Edmonton last night. Flew to Hamilton, then drove to Rochester. So that's not a dedication there. And Reza Terrence misses high over the top of the net. Tapped away into the stick of Sid Smith, and there to back it up is Scott Self. Here they come in transition. Scott Self on the left wing side. And he's going to wait for some help offensively. As Joel McCready, who's got a goal tonight, will set up on the left wing. He'll give it to Walters. Rochester shorthanded as Jamison took the flip pass. Now to Walters. Tried to grab it. And Walters now pressuring the ball. Banging around in the near corner. Joe Walters against 4 Bandits. And up the floor they come. Buffalo setting up the power play is Stainhouse. He has it now on the left wing side. 3:20 to go here in the second. Tavares up top. Gives it over. The shot goes wide of the net by Benesh. Benesh gets it right back. Feeds it over to Stainhouse. Low shot, he scores. 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and Stainhouse with a power play goal. It's 9-5.
That was just one of those shots that Mark Steenhouse shoots the ball real well, and if you give him time and space to shoot the ball from outside, he usually scores more often than not. So that was a bit of a defensive breakdown there for the Rochester Knighthawks, and obviously you need to get out of Mark Steenhouse's hands.
Off the face-off, Rochester with a 4-goal lead, and that one is rolled into the Buffalo zone as Wild will go back to pick it up. Into the Rochester zone, over to Stainhouse. Less than 3 to go here in the second as Rooney joins the rush. Over now to Benesh, to Stainhouse. Stainhouse in the slot, the shot he missed wide. And that's going to be an over and back violation. Grabbed by Paul Dawson. Now he'll give it to Jamison. who will pass it to Paulus, who swings it left wing side to McCready. Now to Jamison, right wing. Across to Keogh. Keogh trying to get away from Suddens. Looks, shoots, scores! Stephen Keogh squeaks it in. It's 10-5.
That was a real nice shot there by Stephen Keogh, and that's something that he does real well. He took a step back, created space for himself, and shot the ball in underneath Anthony Cosmo's stick for a real nice bounce shot in between his legs.
So for Rochester, their 6th goal of the second. 10-5 Rochester off the face-off. And it's going to be Rochester possession. Bounce pass over to Jamison. Jamison trying to scoot away from David Brock. Shoved into the near corner. Jamison spinning away. Still has it in front of the net. And in and out of the stick of Walters. Here comes Dane Smith. Charging into the Rochester zone. Full head of steam. Gets by one. The shot saved. And the rebound is battled for. Big hit as Reza Terrence is sent flying to the turf. Yeah, Buffalo's going to go on the power play.
And again, this is something that Rochester's defense has to be real aware of. Obviously, it was a bit of a check from behind there on Scott Campbell. Legitimate call by the referee, and that's something that they have to be aware of here.
So the Bandits back on the power play. The last goal they had was Steenhouse on the man advantage. And that ended the Knighthawks 5-0 run. Steenhouse gets it from Reza Terrence. Fakes the pass. Now he'll give it to Tavares, who will pass it to Benesh. Benesh behind the net. Brought up top, grabbed there by Tavares. 8 seconds on the shot clock, and that is picked off. It was fed in front, it was intended for Williams, and Scott Self took it away. Just over a minute left here in the second. And Paul Dawson with it on the left wing. He'll feed it over to Keogh. Jamison knocked down. Keogh drawing the double. Passes over to Vitarelli on the right wing. Vitarelli got the shot off. It was grabbed by Cosmo. Yeah, now the Bandits with 42 seconds to work with here in the second quarter. Steenhouse, left wing side to Dane Smith. As they work it up top to Steenhouse. To Smith, down low. Reza Terrence is denied. And Tavares is stopped point blank. The rebound bounces ahead. Tapped into the stick of Brad Self. 16 seconds to go here in the first half. Brad Self. Spinning away from David Brock. Still short-handed. Self trying to kill off the final time. Will feed it over now to Joe Walters. The shot. And that is stopped by Cosmo, and the first half comes to a close. Rochester 10, Buffalo 5. We'll head to halftime here at the Blue Cross Arena in Game 2 of the East Division Finals. We'll be back on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
Is NLL Halftime. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Dave Walls. Let's get you caught up on where your favorite team stands as we are halfway through the divisional final battles. First, in the NLL's Eastern Division, featuring the Rochester Knighthawks and the Buffalo Bandits in the divisional finals, it was the Bandits with a 5-0 run late in the fourth quarter that secured a 12-8 win over the defending champion Rochester Knighthawks. That run over the last 6 minutes and 10 seconds helped secure the win, with Mark Steenhouse and John Tavares both with 4 goals each. Dane Smith for the Bandits also with a hat trick as well, as those 3 players scored 11 out of the Bandits' 12 goals. Dan Dawson with 5 points in the losing battle. Cosmo 36 big saves. The real key to this matchup was the loose ball count. Buffalo dominated, scooping up 76 loose balls, while Rochester was only able to get 50. That difference created plenty of second and third chance opportunities for the Bandits and was one of the big reasons why they're up 1-0 in this series. Rochester will have a chance chance to tie it up and force a 10-minute tiebreaker overtime period and Game 2 this Saturday, 7:30 p.m. at Blue Cross Arena. Moving to the NLL Western Division Final, featuring the Edmonton Rush versus the Calgary Roughnecks, it was an instant classic at the Saddle Dome, with the Calgary Roughnecks tying it 22 seconds left in the game on a penalty shot by Curtis Dixon, as the Rush had been caught with too many men on the field. Dixon buried the penalty shot, tying it at 11, and Jeff Shatler with the game winner in overtime, giving the Roughnecks a 12-11 victory over the Rush. Dixon's 6 points, including 4 goals, led the way for the Roughnecks. Mark Matthews, 7 points on the day in the losing effort for the Edmonton Rush. Mike Poulin getting game MVP honors with 45 big saves as Calgary jumps out to that 1-0 lead in the best of 2 division finals. The series now shifts to Rexall Place Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Edmonton nearly unbeatable at Rexall Place with an 8-1 record in the regular season. That one loss, however, comes to the Calgary Roughnecks in Week 17, the Roughnecks winning that matchup 14-13. That does it for NLL Halftime. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the divisional finals, and we'll talk to you in the Champions Cup finals. This is the National Lacrosse League.
Back out here, Dawson with a shot, he scores!
Yeah, that one's going to count. I don't know if there'll be a challenge flag here, but Dawson weaving back and forth,
Cutting to the net, scores! Matthews with a beauty, and it's 5-1 Edmonton.
40.5% power play efficiency during the regular season, but the Bandits 14-25,
They score! 2-0 Buffalo!
Shoots and puts it wide. Rebound! He scores! What a goal! Chandler ends it! Calgary takes game 1 as it's overtime magic again! How did he do that?
What a handle on that rebound, Grant. That was unbelievable.
Over to the far side to Tavares. He's forced into the corner, now forced back behind the net. Tavares,
That's diving shot, goal!
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary!
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
The Philadelphia Wings rocked the Wells Fargo Center in 2014 with hard-hitting professional lacrosse action that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Can't come to every game? 5-game, 2-game plans are available and include a player meet and greet and other great benefits. Individual tickets start at just $10. Order by phone at 215-389-WING or online at wingslax.com.
This is Buffalo Bandits Lacrosse. Get your tickets now, starting at just $28 or your McDonald's Family 4-pack for just $89. Don't miss the hard-hitting, high-scoring action this season.
Score! Stenhouse loses check, takes a shot, he scores!
Tickets are available at the First Niagara Center box office, online at bandits.com, or by phone at 1-888-467-2273. See you in Banditland.
chip, and it's going to be Rochester possession. On a procedure call, so the Knighthawks with the ball, and Jamison trying to kill off the final seconds of the penalty to Campbell. Keogh up top to Jamison, across to Walters. Rochester will be back at even strength in 3 seconds. Jamison with 7 points already tonight. Gets away from his man, the shot, that's deflected wide off the stick of Mitch Wild. Walters picks it up. The shot on the run, it hit the side of the net. And it'll go back the other way. It'll be Bandits ball, but Rochester kills off the 4th Bandits power play. And Priolo, the man who led all defensemen in points this year in the NLL, will give it to Williams. In front to Benesh, the shot, and it is stuffed out by Matt Vince. Across midfield comes Brad Self. Great save by Vince, who hit the turf, had the stick in the right position, and made the stick save. Walters, flip pass to Jamison. Gives it over to Vitarelli. He wasn't expecting it.
He wasn't even looking at Cody Jamison there, and obviously that's something you got to get real focused here for the second half.
End to end, and Dane Smith has it stripped away. He tried to get the shot off, but it was deflected wide, and a good hop off the near boards, and Rochester now with the ball again. Paulus trying to get away from David Brock. Feeds it up top to Self. Now to Keogh on the left wing, down the near boards to McCready. Opening minutes of the third. McCready passes it over to Vitarelli. Now gives it left wing Keogh. 3 seconds on the shot clock, and he wings that one wide of the net. And that is going to be a shot clock violation. It'll be Bandits possession. Joe Reziteritz across midfield. He'll give it to Williams, who will pass it right back. Reziteritz, who hails from nearby Hamburg, New York. Bouncing off a check, went to Hamburg High School. Now given over to Stainhouse. Stainhouse trying to get underneath. Loves that underneath move. Feeds it in front of the net, and that one is knocked away as Sullivan will feed it on ahead, where it's grabbed by Campbell. Scott Campbell to Joe Walters. Has it on the right wing side. Passes now to McCready. McCready in the slot, looking, gives it across. Fed in front, the shot knocked away. And that's a crease violation as Jamison had his left foot in the crease. Now Dane Smith with a lot of running room in front of him. And he puts on the brakes, and he'll give it back to Rooney, who will pass it to Dane Smith. Now to Williams, back to Smith. Fires the shot, and that's knocked away by Scott Self. Big hit on the near boards. And a loose ball push. It'll remain Bandits possession.
Some good hard battling going on down there at both ends of the floor. Obviously Rochester's defense is playing real hard here. They're not allowing Buffalo to get any outside shots or inside shots, and any ball that's down on the turf, there's a good battle for it.
Stainhouse from the left wing. They'll give it to Benesh. Underneath, Rooney the shot, and that one is knocked away by Matt Vince. The rebound is grabbed by Culp. In and out of the stick of Stainhouse. Rooney tried to grab it, but it's intercepted by Scott Self, who flips it to his younger brother, Brad. Now to Jamison. Jamison draws the double and lost the handle. And Vitarelli and Jamison forced to play D. And Brad Self will settle back in a familiar position. He'll stay back and play defense. And Campbell now and Sullivan will be joined by Kirk and Ian Lord. That one is stripped away. Taken away by Campbell. Campbell's got a breakaway. In on goal. Score! Campbell took it away and went coast to coast. It's 11-5.
That was a real nice goal there by Scott Campbell, and that's something that he hasn't done a lot this year, is get some transition. He's been playing real good defense, been real solid back on the back end. One of those anchor guys for the Rochester defense, but he can do this. He can run the floor, and he can put the ball in the net. And that was just a great shot there by Scott Campbell, just to give the Rochester Knighthawks some more energy.
11-5 Rochester. Campbell had 2 goals in the regular season. He can definitely light it up Just ask Brooklyn Redmond fans in the summer. He plays a lot of offense, and you can see his finishing touch there as he beats Cosmo. And Rochester gets the ball as Dylan Evans wins the faceoff. Walters on the far boards. One-on-one with Big Dane Smith. Now to Keogh on the left wing side. Keogh trying to get away from his man. Over to Paulus. The shot, he hit the crossbar. And another penalty coming up to Buffalo as Derek Suddens will head off. The fifth power play of the game for the Knighthawks. They're 3 for 4, and Paulus faked low and went high and clanked it right off the iron.
Yeah, that was a real solid shot there by Johnny Paulus, who almost put that ball in the net. Would have been something, obviously, to go up by 7 would have been real good.
Keogh over to Jamison, back to Keogh left wing. Jamison's bounce shot, and that goes over the glass and into the crowd. Fed ahead now by Anthony Cosmo. And Priolo with the ball deep in Rochester territory, and he'll roll it on back to Mark Stainhouse. 10 minutes to go in the third, 11-5 Rochester. Stainhouse to Williams. Gives it in the slot. Dane Smith lost it. And Ian Lord had to go back to pick his helmet up as John Tavares knocked the helmet off of Ian Lord. And it'll be Rochester ball. Across midfield comes Stephen Keogh. 71 points this year, a career best for the former All-American out of Syracuse. Vitarelli now to Paulus, up top to Walters, looking, over, shot, save by Cosmo as he got the left arm up to deny Paulus. Vitarelli picks it up, Paulus to Keogh on the left wing. Back up top to Paulus, left wing Keogh. Paulus over, Walters up top, Paulus, left wing to Keogh, now to Paulus. He has it stripped away, flipped up in the air, a foot race. Keogh trying to pick it up. He is shoved down from behind. Loose ball push.
That was a great individual effort there by Stephen Keogh to get back defensively to shut down that transition by the Buffalo Bandits.
And they're going to call a crease violation. A great cross-crease feed from Vitarelli to McCready. It's very close. 9:03 to go. And it looked like, that's tough to tell, but it does look like McCready may have had his foot in the crease.
Yeah, I think his right foot was definitely right on the line of the crease. You can see his right foot there in the crease. So that's no goal. That's a legitimate call there by the referees.
9:03 to go. Knighthawks in the lead, 11-5. We'll be back on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Good pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Flip pass. Here's a shot.
Cross Arena, 11-5 Rochester, and the former 5th overall pick, Dane Smith, will work it across midfield for Buffalo. And let me tell you, a lot of jockeying for position in front of the net. You can't see it right now, those who are watching but there is a huge battle going on in front between Tavares and Paul Dawson. Dane Smith has it, trying to get away from Campbell. Over to Tavares, flip pass to Benesh. Hanging on to it, Benesh fires it in on goal, and Vince makes the save. And a lot of extracurricular activity in front of the Rochester bench.
There is lots of that stuff going on tonight. Lots of behind the scenes. Lots of stuff going on after the whistles. It's real emotional down on the turf, and it's something that's gonna even get even more emotional as we get down to the end of this game.
Jamison across midfield to Joe Walters. Now to Vitarelli. Over to Keogh. Now on the near boards to McCready. McCready, who just missed his second goal of the night on a crease call, gives it to Walters. Stutter step, swim move, in on goal. The shot, he hit the crossbar, and that one goes into the Buffalo bench. Rochester will keep the ball.
That was a real nice move there by Joe Walters to sidestep the Bandit defender and swim. Real nice swim move. Got to the net, hit the crossbar.
McCready, left wing side, will bring the ball to the middle. Bounces off one check, gives it to Joe Walters. Now to Keogh, left wing side. Keogh shoots, bounce shot right into the midsection of Cosmo, who will fire it on ahead. As Watt now will flip it back and taken by Stainhouse. Stainhouse against Scott Self. Fires it over to Culp. Down low to Williams in front. Benesh is robbed by Vince.
And what a great save there by Matt Vince to rob Ryan Benesh wide open in front of the crease there. Matt Vince has been on fire the last quarter and a half here. He hasn't allowed any goals in, so that's a real good thing moving down to the end of the game here for the Rochester Knighthawks.
Jamison, right wing side, looking, takes it hard to the net. He is stripped of the ball, picked off though. The shot by Vitarelli. He stopped as Cosmo got it, and he lofts it way down the turf in front. Tavares shoots and scores. Dane Smith grabbed that looping pass. I thought it was going to hit the scoreboard.
You know what? You got two guys going down on a 2-on-1. One being Dane Smith, the other one being John Tavares. Who are you going to get the ball to? Dane Smith made the right choice. Nice pass over to John Tavares, who put the ball into the Rochester Knighthawk net. That's something that obviously Buffalo enjoys and runs the floor real well. So that's something that Rochester's definitely going to have to watch moving closer to the end of this game.
Buffalo off the procedure call. That last goal, John Tavares at 8:04. It's 11-6, and it gives the Bandits fans a little bit of life. Williams over to Benesh. Benesh across the Stainhouse. Shot, save. The rebound is battled for, kicked at by Sullivan. And in there to chop away at it is Brad Self. Mike Kirk in there. Self throws his body into the corner, and back away comes Scott Campbell. And Rochester able to clear it out to avoid the 8-second call. 11-6 is our score. Coming to you live from the Blue Cross Arena, Game 2 of the East Division Final, as Joe Walters will take the feed and take it right wing. Walters one-on-one with Dane Smith. Looking, shoot, save, rebound, and he gets it right back. Joe Walters trying to get away from Wild. Bounce pass up top as Vitarelli now will pass it to McCready, who will give it right back to Corey Vitarelli, who will swing it to Joe Walters. Trying to get underneath, has it in the middle. Penalty upcoming to Buffalo as Matt Vince will head off the turf, and the extra man is Keogh. Jamison behind the net, wraparound attempt denied. And that shot is knocked down in front as McCready took a big hit in front.
It seems to be that Buffalo Bandits defensively seem to be taking some liberties here on the Rochester Nighthawk offense. Obviously, they're trying to get Cody Jamison off his game. Joel McCready obviously plays with a lot of passion, and they're really pounding. They're pounding Rochester offensive players. Maybe they're thinking, yeah, game's over here. Let's move towards the overtime. So that may be something that the Buffalo Bandits have in their game plan.
So Wild heads off for Buffalo, and for Rochester, their sixth power play. Holding the stick is Keel. Will give it to Jamison. Over to Keel. They play catch now. Keel wanted to pull the trigger. Now gives it to Jamison. To Paulus. Down low to Vitarelli. Hits Paulus. Now Jamison across to Vitarelli. Tried to give it in tight to Keel, but it was knocked away. Got it right back. Now picks it out of the air. The low shot save. Keel follows up, and he is denied by Cosmo. 3 Knighthawks converge on the ball. And David Brock will get it across midfield. 3-on-2 break developing for Buffalo. The trailer coming back. What a great play by Johnny Paulus. A great trail check causes the turnover.
Yeah, that was a great individual effort there by Johnny Paulus to get back defensively. Real nice strip there of Brock, who basically hung his stick out from almost half to almost beg the Rochester Nighthawk to knock it out of his stick.
Keel will give it to McCready. Now worked over to Jamison. Looking, shooting, save. Rebound is grabbed by Thornburg. He had it stripped away. Walters in there. Walters takes it away. Gives it to Jamison. And McCready now will join the rush, and he's joined by Keel, who takes the pass. Keel with it on the left wing. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. Jamison calling out the play, gives it to Paulus. Passes it to Walters. Now to Paulus, over to Keel. Keel gets it back from Paulus. The bounce shot off the pads. Oh, they're going to say no, it went out of play. 3:41 to go. We've got a timeout. And the Knighthawks in the lead, 11-6. We'll be back on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
The Philadelphia Wings rocked the Wells Fargo Center in 2014 with hard-hitting professional lacrosse action that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Can't come to every game? 5-game, 2-game plans are available and include a player meet and greet and other great benefits. Individual tickets start at just $10. Order by phone at 215-389-WING or online at wingslax.com.
This is Buffalo Bandits Lacrosse. Get your tickets now, starting at just $28 or your McDonald Family 4-pack for just $89. Don't miss the hard-hitting, high-scoring action this season.
Score! Stenhouse loses a check, takes a shot, he scores!
Tickets are available at the First Niagara Center box office, online at bandits.com, or by phone at 1-888-467-2273. See you in Banditland.
Seconds remaining, and the penalty to Mitch Wild as Ryan Benesh will give it back up top to Smith. Now to Stainhouse. 3 minutes and 24 seconds remaining here in the third, and Wild will stay out there to set some hard picks, and it's passed over now to Williams. Benesh off the stick of Stainhouse. Smith lost the handle on it. That's a shot clock violation. And Rochester will take over with just over 3 to go here in the third. Just 1 goal apiece here in the third quarter as Campbell will roll it on over. Picked up in front. Paulus backing in. Spins away and has it stripped at the last minute. He spun down to the turf. And Priolo across midfield. Flip pass taken by Rooney. Now Reza Terrence to Benesh and the right wing over the top of the boards. It banked in. Back in on Matt Vince. And the Rochester Knighthawks in the stick of Brad Self. Now to Paul Dawson. He had 2 big goals in a road win at Colorado, which matched his career high, which he scored against Colorado. He loves playing against the Mammoth. Walters on the right wing, trying to get away from Thornburg. Charging in on goal. The dive, the shot, and the save by Cosmo. And the rebound is grabbed by Derek Suddens. And here comes the veteran. Bounce pass to Williams. Williams with the ball on the left wing with less than 2 to go. Now to Stainhouse, guarded there by Ian Lord. Pass taken up top by Tavares. Trying to get away from Mike Kirk. Sliding over is Dawson. The shot goes wide of the net as Reza Terrence let it go from the left wing. Big hit on the far boards. And that's a shot clock violation.
That was a huge hit on Paul Dawson there. Chad Culp obviously went in real hard. He's obviously a solid kid there to take a guy like 6 foot down in Paul Dawson.
And they're going to say that ball was touched by Buffalo as Keogh gets away from Priolo, the shot. And Cosmo with the big save. Passed on ahead, picked off by Jamison. Jamison charging in on goal, the shot, and that is stopped by Cosmo. Back-to-back saves by the veteran Anthony Cosmo.
Yeah, and both goalies seem to be at the top of their game right now. They're obviously making some big saves, big timely saves for both Buffalo and the Rochester Knighthawks.
Cosmo, a former goalie of the year, and the shot by, and that's Sid Smith get the shot off. He scored his first goal of his NLL career in the regular season finale in Buffalo. Tavares, 36 seconds to work with. The KG veteran fed over now. Williams, kick save, and the rebound. And being shoved to the crease was Sullivan, and Buffalo will maintain possession. Tavares to Benesh. 26 seconds left. Cosmo heads to the bench to set up for the final shot of the third quarter. Rochester leading by 5. So Buffalo with the extra attacker with 16 seconds to work with as Benesh will give it to Williams. Now into the stick of John Tavares. And that one is knocked away, but Tavares grabs it, flips it. And that one is knocked away. The empty net opportunity, and that one is shot wide of the net. And time expires. The third quarter comes to a close. Rochester with a 5-goal lead heading into quarter number 4. We'll be back. It's 11-6 on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon to the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary!
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
quarter by Matt Vince.
And that was a big save there by Matt Vince. Obviously, they don't want to allow Buffalo to get any sort of momentum. They want to keep the lead and then go into that final overtime game and with momentum. That's something that Rochester definitely has to keep here.
Jamison in front of Paulus. The shot saved by Cosmo. Walters picks up the rebound. And they'll get the reset. Opening minute of the fourth. Johnny Paulus with the ball on the near board, just 21 years old. He's in his third year in the NLL. Now to Jamison. Over on the left wing, taking it in on goal, McCready. The shot, and that is swatted away. Down the floor comes Dane Smith. Watching him is Scott Campbell. As Campbell gives chase, Smith still with the ball on the left wing. Gives it in front. Benesh looking to get free. Feeds it to Dane Smith on the left wing. Stood up momentarily, still with it. And that low pass in the slot is grabbed and fired wide of the net. Grabbed off the end boards by Sid Smith. Fired on ahead. Across midfield comes John Sullivan. They'll bounce it over now to Stephen Keogh and head off for a change. And Joe Walters will join the offense. He takes the pass, and he'll give it to Vitarelli. Now to Keogh. Keogh against Billy D. Smith. Over now to Jamison, right wing side. Bounce pass taken by Walters, and that's a shot clock violation. 12:57 to go here in the fourth. Watt flips it across midfield into the stick of Williams. Williams, right wing side. One-on-one with Mike Kirk. Feeds it in front. That's off the stick of Dylan Evans, but there to pick it up is Williams. Fires it up top. Off the stick of Benesh. Back away comes Scott Self. He's got a breakaway. Self, shot, save. It's scooped out of the air by Cosmo.
And both goalies seem to be on fire here. Both have made some big saves here in the fourth quarter. Some breakaway saves, some one-time saves. And this is something that's going to be real exciting down the stretch.
And Stainhouse is called for a crease violation as he tried to attack the net from the near side. And Scott Self will bounce it over to Campbell. Has it in the Buffalo zone. Gives it on the near boards. That pass taken now by Paulus. Over to Jamison. Jamison in the high slot. Still with it. Has it on the off wing, the shot, and that is knocked away. Trapped in the left pad by Anthony Cosmo. And he passes it on ahead. 11:38 to go as Jamie Rooney with the ball on the left wing gives it to Reza Terrence. Now to Stainhouse. Across on the right wing. Benesh trying to get underneath, runs into Lord, the turnaround shot, and that is stopped by Vince, who will feed it on ahead to Sullivan. 37-29 are the shots on goal in favor of the Knighthawks. As Keogh against David Brock on the left wing. Passes it right wing now to Walters. Joe Walters in front. Paulus behind the back, and that's denied by Cosmo. And Paulus being held up. It's going to be a loose ball hold, and Rochester will keep the ball. Jamison gets it over now to Keogh. Keogh from the left wing gets underneath, runs into Billy D. Smith. He's shoved down behind the net. Still with it, and that's a crease violation. 10:37 to go here in the fourth.
Buffalo Bandits defense is playing hardcore defense out there. They're really taking liberties on the Rochester offensive players, really pounding out there. And maybe they're thinking that overtime period. Maybe they could obviously give some bumps and bruises and get some momentum going into the overtime.
Tavares has it, gives it over to Stainhouse. That is intercepted. Back away comes Brad Self. And Brad Self will take it to the far boards. Now we'll pass up top to Campbell, who will give it near side to Joe Walters. Less than 10 to go here in the fourth. Walters gives it over on the left wing. McCready bounces off the shot. He scores! He bounced off his defender and bounces it in.
That's what Joel McCready's going to give you. He's going to give you the pinball effect. He's going to bounce off one guy, take a hit from another guy, drive hard to the net, and put the ball in the net. And that was a real nice goal. Real timely goal there for the Rochester Knighthawks. Maybe get some momentum here going into the final stretches of this quarter.
5:17, the time of the goal. And it's going to be Bandit ball when we come back. 9:40 to go. Rochester 12, Buffalo 6. We'll be back on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
The Philadelphia Wings rocked the Wells Fargo Center in 2014 with hard-hitting professional lacrosse action that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Can't come to every game? 5-game, 2-game plans are available and include a player meet and greet and other great benefits. Individual tickets start at just $10. Order by phone at 215-389-WING or online at wingslax.com.
This is Buffalo Bandits Lacrosse. Get your tickets now, starting at just $28 or your McDonald's Family 4-pack for just $89. Don't miss the hard-hitting, high-scoring action this season.
Score! Stenhouse loses check, takes a shot, he scores!
Tickets are available at the First Niagara Center box office, online at bandits.com, or by phone at 1-888-467-2273. See you in Bandland.
Six is our score as the Rochester Knighthawks leading in game 2 of the East Finals. Stenhouse over to Dane Smith. Shoots, misses wide of the net. Tap over to Ian Lord. And Ian Lord trying to shake off a trail check of Chad Culp, and he does by giving it to Paulus. Down the near boards to Vitarelli, who will pass now to Joe Walters. And Scott Self out there playing a little offense as he takes the feed on the far side. And Scott Self with it, spinning away from Culp, in on goal. The shot he just missed. Scott Self with a nifty move. And he just shot that one wide, and Buffalo takes over on the shot clock violation. Buffalo now with the ball on the right wing side. That one is picked off by Dylan Evans. Taken across midfield. As the Rochester Knighthawks with a 6-goal lead. Getting some different offensive looks out there.
Yeah, obviously with Dan Dawson out of the lineup here, I think they've brought up Dylan Evans. They brought up Self to maybe fill in on the right side to give the righties a bit of a breather down the stretch.
And that shot by Jamison goes wide, and Rochester getting the defense back there. Dane Smith in on goal. The shot he scored. Dane Smith powers his way in, and it's 12-7.
Yeah, and obviously that's Dane Smith power. He just basically drove the net, drove in past the Nighthawk defender, and put the ball in the net to close it within 4 here. 5.
Dane Smith with his 3rd of the game.
Got to brush up on my math skills.
That's all right, Drisky. 7:50 to go here in the 4th. 12-7 Rochester. As it's fed down low, now in front. Rooney shoots and scores. It's 12-8.
Now they're within 4. Obviously, that's something that Rochester's got to be aware of this. Obviously, 7:45 to go here in the quarter. Down by 4. You don't want to allow the Buffalo Bandits to get any sort of momentum here. They'll just keep going. Once they taste a little bit of blood, they'll just keep going. So hopefully the Rochester Knighthawks can bounce back here.
2 goals in 20 seconds. Rochester won the faceoff, but it was taken away from Brad Self, and 7.5 to go here in the 4th. 12-8 Rochester, and Buffalo has chipped away at the lead with consecutive goals. Benesh now to Rooney, left wing side to Stainhouse, across to Benesh, in the slot, it's stripped away, goes back to retrieve it. Now passes to Stainhouse, now back to Benesh, who has it knocked away by Brad Self. He goes back to get it. Reziteritz to Stainhouse, that handcuffs him, and they turn it over. And the Knighthawks will move it up the turf as Brad Self will fire it over on the left wing side. As McCready will give it to Paulus. Right wing, Jamison. Under 7 to go. Jamison trying to back his way in. Still with it. Jamison looking, spinning, one-hands it, score! An incredible goal by Cody Jamison.
That was a great individual effort there by Cody Jamison. Obviously, Roy Smith, strong defender, bounces off him, rolls, picks, swims him, steps back with one hand on his stick, and puts the ball in between Anthony Cosmo's legs. What a real highlight reel goal there by Cody Jamison.
That has got to be a top 10 goal on SportsCenter. Look at the moves by Jammer. And then, I don't know what was better, that move or the celebration. 6:39 to go. And Christian Shagnash was out to attend his netminder, Matt Vince. Cody Jamison with 3 goals and 5 assists. Off the faceoff. 13-8 Knighthawks. Paul Dawson bouncing off of defenders. And that one is wafted over to Joe Walters. And the Knighthawks offense will go to work. Joel McCready gives it to Vitarelli, now to Walters. Vitarelli doing the dirty work in front, as is Paulus. Check that. Walters dives to the crease, and that's a crease violation. They were trying to free him up. Now, last goal, Jamison from Paulus at 8:21. And Ian Lord knocks that one away. Now takes a chop at it. It's got a pin to the half wall, but bouncing away. Tavares shoots, save by Matt Vince. And here comes Brad Self. Brad Self in his 8th season in the NLL. Now to Vitarelli. Both very accomplished hockey players in their athletic careers. Jamison bounces off of another one. Now charges in again, and he misses wide with a scoop shot.
Yeah, it looks like Cody Jamison obviously is going to take over this game here. He's playing offensively, both offensively and battling here defensively, and now they're both going to the penalty box here for a probably a rough. With 5 minutes to go down the stretch here, I think you're going to see some you see some liberties being taken here.
Cody Jamison took on 3 defenders and both unsportsmanlike penalties.
And still got the ball, and still was able to take that trick shot between his legs, almost putting that ball in behind Anthony Cosmo.
5:17 to go, 13-8 Rochester. Well, they called roughing, but the signal was given for unsportsmanlike, but nonetheless, coincidental penalties. Up top. Now given down low, and Reziteritz with a quick stick opportunity. And Matt Vince equal to that opportunity. Across midfield, Sullivan He's got a lot of running room in front of him, and he is going to put on the brakes and give it to Keogh. Keogh, the native of Toronto, passes it over to Walters. 4:44 to go here in the fourth. Walters looking in front. Across, and that's off the stick of Keogh and out of play, and an official timeout called with 4:36 to go here in the fourth. Rochester 13, Buffalo 8. We'll be back on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
One pass. Here's a shot. Dixon to the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary!
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
To go on the Knighthawks with a 13-8 lead, and I'm certain that members of the Calgary Roughnecks are keeping a watchful eye on this game to see who they will play next weekend and where they will play. Stainhouse has it on the left wing, marked up against Campbell. Off the far boards, but into the stick of Williams. Now to Rezateritz. He fires it wide of the net. Into the stick of Tavares. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll get it over to Stainhouse, who's pinned to the near boards and turns it over. And it'll be Rochester possession with 4:01 to go here in the fourth. And Vince will give it to Vitarelli, who will pass it now on the left wing side, and he'll give it back now as Joe Walters will slow things down as he passes now to McCready, who gives it now to Keogh. 8 seconds on the shot clock. One-on-one with Rory Smith. Passes to Walters, the shot, and that skips wide of the net as it was off the stick of Wild. Dane Smith over to Stainhouse as Buffalo setting up offensively. Williams takes the feed up top and gives it to Stainhouse on the left wing. Trying to get away from his defender. Now one hand as he cradled with a right. Now passed up top, and the shot through the screen. An easy stop by Matt Vince as Rezateritz let it go. 3 minutes to go as Brad Self out there with Paul Dawson, Joe Walters, Johnny Paulus, Scott Self, and Corey Vitarelli. And Vitarelli fakes the shot and gives it to Walters. Little strategy going on here at the end of the game. Vitarelli looking, still has it, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Thornbird up the turf. Across midfield, he'll give it to Stainhouse on the near boards. 40-34 are the shots in favor of Rochester as Rooney will work it over to Williams. Williams to Stainhouse. The shot that is knocked down off the stick of Ian Lord. They battle for it on the near wall. And it's kicked out into the stick of Scott Self. Takes it into the Buffalo zone, and a lot of chippiness going on behind the play.
Yeah, they got to be real careful here, though. Obviously, going into the overtime, everything seems to be carrying over. All the penalties carry over, so anything under 2 minutes here is going to carry over into the overtime. So that's something that both teams are probably going to be very aware of. Not allow themselves to get undisciplined penalties, so they go short into the overtime game here.
1:45 to go. Game 2, East Division Finals, and it's starting to appear that we will be heading to the mini game. Over now on the right wing side, Fed in front. And that's a crease violation. It'll be Rochester ball. 1:36 to go. Into the stick of one of the assistant captains, Mike Kirk. They'll pass it now to Joe Walters, who will give it back to Vitarelli. Over now to Paul Dawson, who will pass it to Scott Self. Paul Dawson, drafted into this league as a goalie, plays defense, but now being showcased as an offensive player. Walters fighting off a check on the half wall and another shot clock violation. 1:04 to go, and Buffalo will pass it on ahead to Wild, who will fire it over to Williams. Less than a minute to go in the fourth quarter. The fans standing here at the Blue Cross Arena as Joe Rezateritz will attack the cage. He gets the shot off, and that is stopped again by Ian Lord. 40 seconds left here in game number 2. We'll take a 2-minute break, and then we will start the mini game. 33 seconds to go. Dawson to Vitarelli. Vitarelli, 25 seconds left. Up top to Paulus. Gives it left wing side, McCready. Now the shot from the outside, and Keogh is denied by Cosmo. 15 seconds to go. Gives it on ahead. Walked across midfield. Cosmo heads to the Buffalo bench. Passed on over. That one is knocked away. Brad Self bats away at it. Swatted at. Picked up. Dane Smith's shot, and that is knocked away, and the game is over. The Rochester Knighthawks have knocked off the Buffalo Bandits in game 2, and we will take a 2-minute break and head to the mini game. 2 days of NLL playoff action and 2 mini games. We'll be back on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
This is Buffalo Bandits Lacrosse. Get your tickets now, starting at just $28, or your McDonald's Family 4-pack for just $89. Don't miss the hard-hitting, high-scoring action this season.
Score! Stenhouse loses check, takes a shot, he scores!
Tickets are available at the First Niagara Center box office, online at bandits.com, or by phone at 1-888-467-2273. See you in Banditland.
The Philadelphia Wings rock the Wells Fargo Center in 2014 with hard-hitting professional lacrosse action that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Can't come to every game? 5-game, 2-game plans are available and include a player meet and greet and other great benefits. Individual tickets start at just $10. Order by phone at 215-389-WING or online at wingslax.com.
Early one. Calgary hung on for a 2-1 lead. Here we go. McCready gets it over to Walters. Now to McCready on the left wing side. Opening minute of the mini game. Jamieson over to Walters. Back to Jamieson. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. In front of Paulus, charging in on goal. Penalty coming up to Buffalo. And a holding call. Rochester going on the power play.
But this is big here for the Rochester Knighthawks. Real key to score a power play goal here early in this in this mini game. Obviously, that was a legitimate call there by the referees. There was an arm around Johnny Paulus' shoulder, dragged him down to the turf, and now the Rochester Knighthawks are going on the power play.
And here we go. Paulus over now to Jamieson. Jamieson right wing, up top to Paulus. Over to Keogh. Keogh to Paulus. In the slot, the low shot, that's knocked away. Bounces in the crease, and Cosmo's got to make a second save.
Yeah, both goalies have been real hot here down the stretch, so it's going to be real tight to score a goal here. Obviously with the power play, Rochester's going to get some opportunities to put the ball in the net, and it's real important that defensively they really step up, and Matt Vincent makes some big saves here also.
That over left wing side to Dane Smith. Smith with it, brings it up top. That shot is knocked away by Sullivan. 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and that is going to be a shot clock violation in Rochester with 1:10 on the power play. On the holding penalty to Steve Priolo. Opening minutes of the mini game as Jamieson has it. Cody Jamieson passes to Keogh, and they say big players step up at big times in games. And Jamieson will give it to Keogh. Back to Jamieson. The shot over the top of the net. Bounces in front. They battle for it. That's a crease call. It's going to be Rochester ball. Jamieson has it over on the right wing as Vitarelli will set up. Now Keogh gives it to McCready. Up top. The shot over the top of the net by Jamieson. Off the end boards. Two Knighthawks converge. McCready is knocked down. Paulus digging for it underneath this fallen teammate. Where is it? It's behind Paulus. Kick that. Battle for on the half wall. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. It's a shot clock violation. 7:39 to go.
And that was a huge battle there by both teams with the ball down on the turf. Obviously killed a lot of time off, and looks like the Buffalo Bandits are going to end up killing this power play off for the Rochester Knighthawks.
So Rochester 0 for 1 on the man advantage here in the mini game. Culp with the ball. Both of these fans chanting out offense or defense as Tavares has it with 7:20 to go. Tavares with it. Flip pass to Benesh. Look, shot knocked away. And that's a shot clock violation. Every inch of turf being battled for.
Yeah, absolutely. This is obviously real exciting for the NLL. New format in the playoffs here, and it's been real exciting over the last couple days for both of these games, both the Eastern and the Western Conference Finals.
Keogh gives it down low to Evans. Passed over to Jamieson on the right wing. Jamieson backing his way in. In on goal, the shot, and Cosmo makes the save on the turnaround opportunity, and that one is mishandled. Picked back up by Thorenbert as Dylan Evans was there to try to pick it up. Stainhouse has it on the left wing. 6:28 to go. The winner goes to the NLL Finals. Stainhouse trying to get away from Campbell. Stainhouse still with it. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Across to Benesh. Looking. Backing his way in. Now trying to charge in on goal. Looking. Feeds it in front of the net. And another shot clock violation.
And defensively, both teams are at their best here. Both goalies are at their best. It's going to take a big shot and a real nice shot to put the ball in the net behind one of these goalies.
Joe Walters with it on the far boards. Has a lane. Walters shot, and Cosmo just got a piece of it. He got the right foot on it. The former teammates in Brampton going head to head there as McCready gives it on the near boards to Stephen Keogh. Keogh in the slot. Jamieson shot. Oh, he hit the post. And here come the Bandits, and that one is thrown away. And it's picked off by Brad Self. Cody Jamieson inches away from giving the Knighthawks the lead. 5:24 to go in the mini game. We are scoreless. Walters looking, fires the shot. He just missed wide. Walters settling back on D, breaking up that opportunity. Culp gives it across, and Vince makes the save. And it's going to be Buffalo ball as it went off the right shoulder of Matt Vince.
And what a huge save by Matt Vince. Obviously, Anthony Cosmos kicking out saves, and Matt Vince was up to the task for that big save also.
Two of the best goalies in the world going head-to-head tonight. Banesh on the right wing, spinning away from his defender. Banesh, one-on-one with Ian Lord, that's knocked away by Brad Self, picked up by Stainhouse. Gets it over on the right wing. Rezzateritz, the shot, he scored. Joe Rezzateritz makes it 1-0.
You know what? That was just a good individual effort there by Joe Rezzateritz. Obviously, defensively, they were all over him, draped all over him. He just came around topside and took a shot towards the net. And Matt Vince, I don't think he's seen a whole lot of it. Went in between his legs. But you know what? I think defensively, you can jump topside on that play, and that shot isn't taken.
Flipped on back, and Rochester better hurry up to avoid the 8-second call. Fired across midfield. Now back to Jamieson. 4:18 to go. 1-0 Buffalo. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Jamieson dragged down to the turf. No call and a breakaway by Suttons. He hit the post. Brad Self in there to scoop it up. Under 4 to go. Vitarelli behind the net. Passes it over to Jamieson. Gives it to Keogh. Keogh bounces off the double. In front of the net. Brad Self the shot. He's denied by Cosmo. Not a lot of free room to move in front of that net. 3:30 to go. Buffalo with a 1-0 lead. Stainhouse against Paul Dawson. Gives it to Williams. Now on the near side to Banesh in the slot. The shot. That is saved by Ian Lord. And Sid Smith picks it up.
I don't know how many shots Ian Lord has saved tonight, but he's taking shots and soaking up lots of shots for Matt Vince.
Jamieson right wing. In front of the net. Over to Jamieson, and it's picked off by Thorenberg. Very nearly Rochester with a great opportunity. 4-on-2 break. The shot, Vince with a save. Rebound, Stainhouse. Stainhouse over the top of the net. That one bounces up. That's an over and back violation. It'll be Rochester ball. 2:48 to go. Buffalo hanging on. They lead 1-0. We'll be back in the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
The Philadelphia Wings rocked the Wells Fargo Center in 2014 with hard-hitting professional lacrosse action that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Can't come to every game? 5-game, 2-game plans are available and include a player meet and greet and other great benefits. Individual tickets start at just $10. Order by phone at 215-389-WING or online at wingslax.com.
This is Buffalo Bandits Lacrosse. Get your tickets now, starting at just $28, or your McDonald Family 4-pack for just $89. Don't miss the hard-hitting, high-scoring action this season.
Score! Stainhouse loses check, takes a shot, he scores!
Tickets are available at the First Niagara Center box office, online at bandits.com, or by phone at 1-888-467-2273. See you in Banditland.
Back to the Blue Cross Arena. Joe Walters with the ball. 2:48 to go. Each team with 4 shots on goal, but Joe Rezzateritz right now with the only goal. McCready on the left wing. McCready over to Paulus. Grabbed by Walters. Shoved to the outside. Spinning away from Watt. Still with it. Walters gives it over to McCready. McCready trying to charge in on goal. Still has it on the left wing. Bangs around. In front. Shot. Score! Joel McCready, we're tied at 1.
And Joel McCready just did again what he does best. Bounced off 3 guys, took the ball, drove it to the net, and put the ball in behind Matt Vince. Wasn't real pretty, but guess what? It counts as a goal.
7:38, the time of the goal. Joel McCready. He was a insert into the lineup. They decided to play him tonight. And it appears to be the right decision. Thornburg wins the faceoff. 1-1, 2:16 to go, mini game. Dane Smith on the left wing. He'll give it up top now to Stainhouse. To Benesh on the right wing. Across to Smith. Smith in on goal. That shot is deflected wide again. Ian Lord with a save. They battle for it on the near boards. That is stripped away. 1 second left on the shot clock, and Rochester holds. And here they come. Less than 2 to go. Can the Knighthawks take the lead? Scott Campbell across midfield. Gives it to Cody Jamieson. Looking for a big one out of Jammer here. The fans are on their feet. It doesn't matter if you're wearing teal or orange, you're standing. McCready, slot, shot, saved by Cosmo. Tried to beat him with the outside bouncer through a screen, and Cosmo made the save. 1:20 to go. Stainhouse with it on the left wing side. Against Sullivan. Stainhouse against Sid Smith now. Over to Benesh. To Stainhouse. Trying to get underneath. The shot. Saved by Vince. Paul Dawson corrals it. Less than a minute to go. Over now to Jamieson. Jamieson better get rid of it. Over now to Paulus. To Walters. 50 seconds to go. Up top to Jamieson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. To Keogh. Keogh working his way in. Shot saved by Cosmo. 38 seconds left. Here they come, and a timeout is called by head coach Troy Cordingley.
We got 28 on the shot clock here, 35 on the game clock. I'm sure Troy Cordingley's got a play drawn up already for this, and they're just going to try and make it happen here for the Buffalo Bandits.
35 seconds to go. This game is not for the faint of heart. The mini game has been as exciting as advertised. Rochester won, Buffalo won, Western New York rivals. They met 53 times in the regular season, 10 in the playoffs. This now their 11th. Rochester won game 2, 13-8. We're tied 1-1 in the mini game. You are up to date. Buffalo will have the ball. Rochester will settle back defensively. Led from the net out by Matt Vince.
Yeah, and Matt Vince has been solid here down the stretch, both in game 2 and in this mini game. Anthony Cosmo's been up for the task also. It's going to take a real good shot to beat both of these goalies.
And here we are going to start deep in Buffalo territory, and it'll be Dane Smith. And here we are set to go. 30 seconds left. Dane Smith, 20 seconds on the shot clock, a 6-second difference with the game clock. Tavares over now on the right wing to Williams. Left wing to Stainhouse. Over to Smith. Backing his way in. Still has it. Gives it up top for Stainhouse. Smith lost his footing, so couldn't receive the pass. Up top, and that's a shot clock violation. Here we go. Breakaway now for Kirk. No, we are going to have a timeout by Rochester. 5 seconds left. Regular overtime rules will apply if this game heads to sudden death. 5 seconds is enough time to score a goal in lacrosse, but they're going to have to work quickly. Where will Rochester start with the ball? That's the question.
I don't know where that was. Obviously back by the restraining line. I think that's where they blew the whistle. I think they're going to add a couple seconds here, which they just did. Add a couple seconds onto the game clock, and it's obviously that's enough time to get the ball down, get a real good shot in on Anthony Cosmo, and try and win this game with 7 seconds to go. What an exciting ending to a game here. Obviously, it's something that it's the new system here in the NLL. Whether it's good or bad, I think it's been exciting for the fans.
5 seconds left. Jamison with the ball. 3 seconds left. Fed in front of the net, and we are headed to overtime. They could not get the shot off as it was bounced over to Stephen Keogh. We're headed to OT. Tied up at 1. The mini game does not decide it. We're headed to sudden death overtime. We'll be back on the Knighthawks Broadcast Network.
Support the National Lacrosse League and show the world you're a fan with team merchandise from the National Lacrosse League official online store, shop.nll.com. You'll find a great selection of National Lacrosse League team items, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, accessories, and more. You'll also find great customer service, 365-day hassle-free returns, and fast shipping. So show the world you support the National Lacrosse League with official gear from shop.nll.com.
Flip pass. Here's a shot. Dixon into the net. Scores! Curtis Dixon again! It's 11-10 Calgary.
Want more great NLL action? Subscribe to the Lacrosse Network on your computer, tablet, or mobile device for access to all the games, live on YouTube. Get highlight reels, interactive player interviews, and behind-the-scenes coverage on all your favorite teams. YouTube.com/TLN. Subscribe today.
Driscoll on Craig Rubczynski, and what a big face-off. Dylan Evans for Rochester, Jay Thornburg for Buffalo.
This is a huge face-off, huge part of this overtime here. Obviously, we played a whole game, a 10-minute mini game, and the game's tied 1-1 going into overtime. This is huge.
Off the face-off, they battle for it. Won by Thornburg, so Buffalo will have the first possession as Watt will take it across midfield. Opening minute of overtime of the mini game as Stainhouse will pass it over on the near boards to Reza Terrence, now to Stainhouse over to Benesh. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Looking in front, Benesh shoved to the outside by Kirk. Up top to Stainhouse, gives it over now to Dane Smith. The shot kick save. Rebound. Evans battling for it. Benesh grabs the loose ball. So they get the second opportunity after a big save by Vince. Opening minute of overtime as Stainhouse flips it up for Smith. In front of the net, the wraparound. What a save by Vince. Fired on ahead into the stick of Dylan Evans. 2 huge saves by Matt Vince.
And Matt Vince has given the Rochester Knighthawks an opportunity to win this game. It's a matter of the offense taking over here and putting the ball in behind Anthony Cosmo.
Passed over now. Stephen Keogh will get it up top to Jamison. 8 seconds to work with. Jamison over to Keogh. The shot, the save, and the rebound. Hollis goes after it. And it's grabbed by Cosmo.
And that was a big save by Anthony Cosmo for a real nice shot there by Stephen Keogh.
Flip pass to Williams. As Buffalo with the ball. Williams brings it up top. He'll pass it over now to Smith. Smith gives it in tight to Rooney, who can't hang on. Fought for, intercepted by Brad Self. Here come the Knighthawks. Charging in is Sullivan. Sullivan peels away from a check by Watt and gives it to Vitarelli. Vitarelli charging in on goal. He scores! Corey Vitarelli sends the Knighthawks back to the finals. The kid from Peterborough, they call the dog, takes a bite out of the Bandits.
And that was unbelievable goal there by Corey Vitarelli. Obviously breaking in on his wrong side. I'm pretty sure that the Buffalo Bandits didn't expect Corey Vitarelli to go in and shoot that ball from his wrong side and put the ball in the far corner in behind Anthony Cosmo for a real nice goal there by Corey Vitarelli.
This is why they say dollar for dollar, the best pro sport that you can watch. Look at that shot by Vitarelli.
Yeah, watching that on the monitor, that's unbelievable. And you know what? Growing up, trying to coach younger kids, we always tell them don't shoot the ball from the wrong side of the floor. But guess what? We just seen a winning goal shot from the wrong side of the floor. So he did everything wrong and scored a goal.
Well, the Rochester Knighthawks will head to Calgary for Game 1 of the National Lacrosse League Finals. The back-to-back champs will get an opportunity to do what no other team has done in the history of this league. Three-peat. And Corey Vitarelli with the game winner in one of the, I would say, most electric nights in the 20 seasons of Knighthawks lacrosse. It's too bad that there had to be a loser tonight. Both of these teams left it out on the turf, and the Rochester Knighthawks prevail in overtime.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Unbelievable ending to a unbelievable game. Obviously, the Buffalo Bandits played real well. They struggled down the stretch in the regular season. Obviously, beating the Toronto Rock in the quarter, and now in the semis, taking the Rochester Knighthawks and the two-time defending champions to a mini game and overtime. So that's something that obviously it's going to be unbelievable end here for the Rochester Knighthawks.
And Game 2 is being announced Saturday, May 31st, 8 p.m. Calgary will come here to Rochester. Game 1 next weekend in Calgary, Alberta. The Roughnecks and the Knighthawks will battle for supremacy of the National Lacrosse League. There were so many heroes tonight. Not only do you win Game 2, you're down late. Joel McCready. What a fantastic mini game and game that he had. One of the unsung heroes last year. This year he hasn't played in a while. Comes in, plays his role, excels, gets the team to overtime. And Corey Vitarelli, I would say one of the most complete games that he's ever played.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what, Corey Vitarelli, he struggled a little bit down the stretch. I know he struggled a little bit at the beginning of the season with some injuries, but he scores big goals. And you're looking for a guy to score a big goal, and that's the guy you want shooting the ball down the stretch in front of the net. And that was an unbelievable goal there by Corey Vitarelli. Joel McCready, what a hero. He comes in, he battles hard, he got loose balls, he set big picks, he scored some big goals, and you know what, 2 weeks ago, he said to me that he would probably not get in the lineup again. He got in the lineup this week, and you know what, he did what he had to do.
Well, the Rochester Knighthawks, 13-8 victors over Buffalo in Game 2. 2-1 overtime. Winners tonight, and the victory lap, oh so sweet, as they eliminate the rival Buffalo Bandits here on their home turf. 8 consecutive playoff wins for the Rochester Knighthawks going back to 2006. 9-1 at home this year now, as the Rochester Knighthawks give the fans here something to cheer about once again. Rochester wins in the overtime of the mini game, 2-1. What a fantastic night of lacrosse here at the Blue Cross Arena. For those who attended, won't soon forget. Drisky, any final thoughts as the Knighthawks head back to the Champions Cup for a record third straight time?
No, you know what? I think that was a great game to be a part of. Great to call this game with you, Rip. These are exciting games to call, and guess what? We get to go on national TV and call some games, hopefully. I better get my hair cut.
You and me both, buddy.
But you know what? Both teams played unbelievable. Both defense and both goaltending was unbelievable, and that was just a great game to watch and a great game to see for all the fans, for the NLL. I think that's something that definitely the NLL can build on.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Drisky. Again, a pleasure to call the game with you. All the fans back in Buffalo, do not hang your heads. This was a great season. You lost 8 straight to end the regular season. And like we said, left it all out on the turf. They went on the road and knocked off Toronto. They took down Rochester on their home turf. And they were just 3 minutes away from heading to the Champions Cup final. So hats off to the Buffalo Bandits as they fall to Rochester in a game which, just by the slimmest of margins, Rochester is able to head back to the Champions Cup finals. For Chris Driscoll, John Catalano, I'm Craig Rubzinski. Thank you for joining us tonight. Rochester heading back to the Champions Cup finals. Have a good night, everyone.